Hello. My name is Sarah, and my project was a 3D model of a constellation, and I chose the Gemini constellation. Um, who here knows their zodiac sign? Okay. Do any of you know what your zodiac constellation looks like? Yeah? A few of you? Okay. Do any of you know, like, the mythology behind your specific zodiac sign? A few of you? Okay. Well, if you're a Gemini, then pay attention. Okay. So Gemini is Latin for twins, and the twins that it's referring to are called Castor and Pollux. They appear in both Babylonian and Greek mythology, but like the most popular story is from Greek mythology. So Castor and Pollux, they have the same mom, and her name is Leda. And so she slept with Zeus and her husband, Tyndareus, who was the king of Sparta. She slept with the both of them in the same night since she got pregnant, and with 4 children. And like half of them were from Zeus and half of them were from her husband. So one of the 4 children is Helen of Troy. And if you know anything about the Trojan War, then that probably sounds familiar. But Pollux is the son of Zeus. So because he's Zeus' son, he is immortal. And then Castor is the son of Tyndareus, so he is mortal. Castor and Pollux did basically everything together. They were really close. But because Castor was mortal, eventually he dies. And Pollux is really upset because like that's his brother. So then he asks Zeus for help. And so Zeus decides that instead of like killing Pollux so that they both can be mortal, he decides to give Castor immortality, so then they live together forever as like the constellation. So like, they like live together forever like in the sky, and that's like the story behind the constellation. Okay. So there are 85 stars in Gemini constellation that are visible without a telescope, but there's only 16 in this model. Castor is the second brightest in the constellation and the 23rd brightest in the night sky. Castor appears to be one blue-white star, but it's actually like 6 stars close enough together that they look like one. And like the whole system is called like a sextuplet, and the sextuplet is 30 times brighter than the sun and twice the diameter of the sun. Pollux, the other twin, is like the other head on the constellation, and that is the brightest star in the constellation. It is an orange giant star, and it's the closest giant star to the sun. Compared to the sun, it's 32 times brighter, making it the 17th brightest star in the entire night sky. Pollux is considered a cool giant because its temperature is roughly 4,700 degrees Kelvin, compared to Castor, which is like 10,000 degrees Kelvin. The star Pollux actually has its own planet called Thestius, and this planet is 3 times the mass of Jupiter, and like its orbital period is 590 days. When they discovered this planet, the International Astronomical Union, they voted on what to name this planet, and they wanted to name the planet Leda after like the twins' mom, but then that name was already being used for one of Jupiter's satellites and for another asteroid. So instead, they went with the name Thestius, which is Leda's patronym. Her father's name is Thestius, so that's why they went with that name. The next star, Suta, is also called Epsilon Geminorum, and that's like kind of like the hip of Castor in the constellation. This star is near the sun's orbital path, so it's often like occulted or blocked by the moon and planets. There's been 3 known times that it's been occulted. In 1976, it was occulted by Mars. In 1940, it was occulted by Mercury. And then recently in 2015, it was occulted by an asteroid. Suta is a cool yellow supergiant and a double star. It is 19 times the mass of the sun and 8,500 times its luminosity. The best time to observe Gemini is at night in January and February. It's visible like right after the sunset in the west in April and May. And then by mid-August, it'll appear like right before sunrise in the east. So the Geminid meteor shower is a meteor shower caused by an asteroid. And it was first observed in 1862. It's one of the two major meteor showers that doesn't originate from a comet. It instead originates from an asteroid. The meteors in this shower are pretty slow moving, and they have lots of colors. So the majority, about 60% of them are white, and then 26-ish% are yellow, and then the rest are either blue, red, or green. So it's pretty colorful. You can see these meteor showers between December 4th and December 17th, and its peak, so when you can see the most of it, is in the morning on December 14th. And this meteor shower comes every year. It's better seen in the northern hemisphere than in the southern hemisphere. And it keeps getting more intense every year. The last time that it was here, there were about 120 to 160 meteors going per hour. They travel at a medium speed of about 22 miles per second, and making it pretty easy to spot. There's another meteor shower within the Geminids. There's 3 of them. The main one is the Geminids, but there's 2 mini ones kind of. So the row Geminids occur within the boundaries of the constellation, and this occurs between December 28th and January 28th, and the peak is January 8 to 9-ish. The closest star to the meteor shower's radiant point is Rho Geminorum, which is how it's got its name. And the meteors move about 12 miles per second. The other meteor shower is Epsilon Geminids, and this is the sister meteor shower to the regular Geminids. This occurs between October 14th and October 27th, and it peaks October 18th. This one's pretty low-key. There's only 1 or 2 meteors per hour. So if you live somewhere cold, it's not really worth it to go and try and see it, because you only get to see 1 or 2 maybe. And then its radiant point is near Suta, which is also called the Epsilon Geminorum, which is how it's got its name. And these travel about 43 miles per second. The neighboring constellations to the Gemini are Auriga, Cancer, Canis Minor, Lynx, Monoceros, Orion, and Taurus. Cancer and Taurus are also zodiac constellations. The Auriga form the shape of a helmet of a charioteer, and Auriga is Latin for charioteer, so that's how it's got its name. Canis Minor is one of the dogs that's following Orion, which is a famous hunter in Greek mythology. The Lynx is a faint constellation that was just kind of made to fill a gap between the Auriga constellation and the Ursa Major. Monoceros is Latin for unicorn, and the constellation kind of looks like a unicorn. And then Orion is named after the hunter of Greek mythology and is one of the brightest and best known constellations in the sky. Questions? Yeah.
So what makes the meteor shower so consistent year to year?
That's a good question. I don't really know. But yeah, there's only 3 meteor showers that actually occur every year, and Gemini is one of them. I'm not really sure why, but yeah.